So value pick, I think Will Jacks has to be the value pick for me. So he's a all-rounder. Mumbai took him for just 5.25 crores and it led to a very hilarious moment.
But I think CSK do have a squad with so many options that it makes them a sure shot playoff contender and maybe even contender for the cup. Like we discussed, they have favorable conditions at home. They have designed their team around it. We are at the end of 2 days of a really hectic IPL Mega Auction ahead of the 2025 season. We saw 182 players being bought and 639.15 crore rupees being spent in the most expensive IPL auction ever. Your initial thoughts about the auction, Pranay?
A lot more hectic than what I expected it to be. A lot of work to be done. 2 days. 2 days actually, like we have been building up towards this for a very long time. But anyway, we have come. Yeah, there is light at the end of the tunnel. So a lot of so it's a brand new setup for almost every single team except for maybe KKR. A few teams like KKR which has successfully managed to retain its core. Looking all set for now. It's time for the fans and analysts to start looking at predicted levels and how teams will end up. So yeah, that's
a couple of new changes in the auction this time. That new RTM rule where the team was given one last bid. I think we saw a couple of surprise hikes. CSK going 10 crores, Noor Ahmad, Pant going from 5 to 10, Pant going from 20.75 to 27. Do you think that made the auction slightly more interesting?
Yeah, I mean, it just added one more element to the RTM bit. So yeah, and it prolongated the whole process.
And
so already it was being stretched out, but yeah, that was the cherry on top. So let's try to recap this IPL 2025 Mega Auction in 10 questions. So value pick, I think Will Jacks has to be the value pick for me. So he's a all-rounder, opener who can also chip in with the ball. And I expected RCB to retain him using an RTM. Yeah. But Mumbai took him for just 5.25 crores and it led to a very hilarious moment. So yeah, I feel Will Jacks could have gone up more and I feel he'll fit in perfectly with Mumbai as an opener along with Rohit Sharma.
For me, I'm guessing someone like a Fazal Haq Farooqi that RR managed to get for base price. So they have had Trent Bolt to that role for them in the power play for the last 3-4 years. And to get somebody with something similar, Fazal Haq Farooqi was the top wicket taker in the recently concluded T20 World Cup as well. So someone who gives that power play, nips the ball both ways in the power play, gives you that early power play wickets. To get him for just a base price of 2 crores. He was underutilized in Sunrisers, his previous franchise. So hopefully here he gets that
never utilized.
Yeah, true. So he gets that run of 14 games where he can actually do something with the ball. Another player I'm thinking was the value is much less than what he would actually earned in the auction is Sai Kishore, who Gujarat RTM for just 2 crore rupees. Spinner who can bat is does so much for the balance of a team. We saw teams scrambling for that spin option today in the second day once they exhausted so much of their purse on the first day. So to get somebody like that for just 2 crore and also considering that they have Washington Sundar, so that makes it 2 spinners who can bat. This does so much. Yeah, so 3 spinners who can bat. This does so much for the makeup of that team. Talking about the most surprising pick of the auction, for me, I guess it should be Jofra Archer. His name wasn't initially in the auction list, so we were thinking that he's prioritizing returning to red ball cricket with England. But he was included just before the auction started. Then he comes on, there's a huge battle going on between 2 of his former teams. And the fact that a team spent $12.50 on him, which is on par with what Josh Hazlewood and Trent Bolt got. They are considered probably 2 of the best overseas pacers, and they are the costliest overseas pacers in this auction. So for someone like Archer who has so many doubts lingering over him to get the same amount of money was really surprising.
I feel like Mumbai and Rajasthan had some bit of information which the other teams do not have, like regarding his fitness or his trajectory of recovery. So I think that could have played a factor in both teams bidding so
Correct.
high for him.
But it's been couple of years. 2020, if I am not wrong, was the last time he had a full IPL season where he had a big impact for Rajasthan. So to go for a player with no IPL games over the last 4 years is a really big punt.
For me, the surprise pick has to be Venkatesh Iyer. Yeah. I mean, all of us knew KKR was going to go for him, but nobody expected them to go till 23.75. That is way too much money for a player. I'm not saying Venkatesh Iyer is a bad player. I'm saying he's a good middle order batter.
Correct.
Who is particularly effective in the power play. He's decent against spin, but he's not a player worth 23.75. Yes. And the only possible explanation I can think of right now is they're going to give him the captaincy.
True.
Even then, it's too much money for one player who could, even if he provides a 500 run season, I don't think it's a good enough return
of investment. Because at best he gives you 1 or 2 overs, and that too again he's one of the more expensive bowlers.
And last season they actually used him as an impact player.
Yeah, impact player. They pulled him out after the batting innings. Yeah, so it does not really that wicket taking. He doesn't have a lot of slower balls or something to deceive batsmen as well. So for a pure batter who has been untested in the middle overs, really has done more in the power play for KKR. For him, just there's that emotional connect that they are looking for, and probably they just went with that.
For me, the most surprising, there are 2 players actually. Most surprising, the 2 players who went unsold, I think, which surprised me the most was David Warner and Kane Williamson, 2 experienced campaigners in the Indian Premier League, as captain multiple teams. So I thought at least 1 or 2 teams would come up to gain their service. Especially Warner, considering the fact that he's closer to the end of his career, he has retired from international cricket. Okay, it's understandable still. But I thought Williamson, and the fact that New Zealand doesn't usually have scheduling conflict with Indian Premier League, so I thought he would be consistently available. So yeah, that was a bit of a shock for me.
I think Williamson, one point is he has improved his game against spin. He's employing both the sweep, reverse sweep. So I'm guessing through the middle overs, if you want somebody to guard you through 3 or 4 overs, there's no better bet than Williamson. The experience he has is really high, but again, I can see there's an overseas option that teams don't want to waste in that kind of batter probably. For me, I'm guessing the surprise pick should be like Shardul Thakur. Has been part of successful CSK teams in the past. Went out, had a season with KKR. Not really a great season. Then got traded to Delhi. Average season there. Came back to CSK last time. Didn't get many games to play, but he's that one bowler that can really affect the game in the middle overs. He has that slower ball, and the batters will go after him, which means there are more wicket creating opportunities.
Yeah. For me, the best batting unit has to be Mumbai Indians. They already had one of the best batting units, considering their retention strategy. They had Rohit, Surya Kumar Yadav, and Tilak Verma, and Hardik Pandya. And now they have just added Ryan Rickelton for just a base price, 1 crore. He's one of the best batters in SAT20. He plays for the MI franchise there. And to top it, they also got Will Jacks for just 5 crores. So in all likelihood, Will Jacks will open with Rohit Sharma. Tilak Verma will come up. Surya Kumar Yadav, Hardik Pandya. So that batting order is more or less set. Number 6, number 7, they have...
probably spinners, Ghaznafer or Santner would fit
Santner
in.
Santner is also a more than handy batter. But in terms of the top 5, top 6, top 5, I don't think there is any team which can probably match with Mumbai Indians.
Just for another option in this, obviously Mumbai, I think by far the best batting, but Sunrisers did really well. Once again, their retentions were really solid. Travis had Abhishek Sharma, best opening pair of the last season. The number of times they broke records, power play records, uncountable number of times last season. To add to that, someone like Nitish Reddy, who's grown a lot since he started playing for SRH, has made his debut for India in the longest format and the T20 format as well. Add to that, Heinrich Larsson was probably one of the best T20 batters in the world going around. And in the middle of all this, they've added Ishan Kishan for 12.5, who's again one of the brightest Indian batting talent available. So I'm guessing
too many left-handers up top of the order.
Yeah, so probably the issue will be 3 left-handers together at the top of the order, but then we'll have to see whether they're able to bring Nitish slightly up. Whether Ishan Kishan is comfortable playing at 4. That will be something we'll have to check, because otherwise it will be 3 left-handers in a row and people can actually make plans accordingly. But again, really, really strong.
Best bowling unit, I think we all of us can possibly agree that it has to be Gujarat Titans.
Yeah.
So they already had Rashid Khan. Now they just went and got Kagiso Rabada, Mohammad Siraj, Prasidh Krishna, superb fast bowling, and you top it, they have Washington and Sai Kishore.
Yeah.
I don't think any team can possibly compete with them on this front.
But I think GT's pace attack really suits their home pitch. So another team that is really prepared well for their home pitch is Chennai. Ravindra Jadeja, Ravi Ashwin, 2 of the best spinners in the country across formats. They have been for years. And now they've added that left arm wrist spin of Noor Ahmed. That's something completely different. He'll be able to get that turn even on pitches that don't offer a lot of turn. Add to that, Pathiyil, who's probably one of the best death bowlers going around in the world, has a mean Yorker and a mean bouncer as well. And they have managed to get a couple of good Indian quicks just in case. Khalil Ahmed performed really well for DC. He was one of the reserve players going into the T20 World Cup as well. Gives that left-handedness. Sam Curran hasn't had a really good IPL over the last 2 years, but the last time he was at Chennai was really good. Gives you that quick power play wickets as well. And Deepak Chahar missing out on Deepak Chahar costs them in the power play, I guess. And they
Anshul
can
Kamboj.
and with Anshul Kamboj, really another value pick. Did really well in domestic cricket. I was with Mumbai Indians last year, so
10-wicket haul recently.
Yeah, a 10-wicket haul in the Ranji Trophy.
Only journalist to watch it.
Yes, yeah. Congratulations. So overall, I think looking at the Chennai pitch, I think CSK have a really good bowling attack for this.
Yeah, and Noor Ahmed, the only reason why I did not say Noor's name was because in the value addition because he went for 10 crores.
10 crores, that last RTM bid.
And the fact that the RTM was raised for 5 crores and CSK doubled it. They went from 5 crores to 10 crores, shows how much they wanted it.
Yeah, they knew GT had that RTM, they just wanted to push GT out of picture.
Yeah, and the pitch which we usually get in CSK, that suits spinners. So now they have 3 different spinners of different style.
Correct.
Yeah, the off spin of Ashwin, left arm conventional spin of Jadeja, and then the wrist spin of Noor.
And add to that the part-time Rachin Ravindra and Deepak Huda as well. Spin or spin.
Yeah. So yeah, both teams, GT and CSK should come pretty close in terms of bowling strength. 13-year-old Vaibhav Suryanshi, so crorepati.
What are you doing in 13, Pranay?
School. Learning about IPL.
Yes.
But yeah, so we have a 13-year-old who's going to play, going to be part of an IPL team, going to be with the IPL stars, traveling across the country. But on a realistic note, I feel this is probably at best going to be a investment for the future. Rajasthan Royals is known for recruiting young talents and helping them grow through the ranks.
Correct.
But to help someone grow through the ranks by paying them 1 crore,
and return of investment will have to wait almost 7 years.
And imagine if they use 3 crores, 3 years, and then a lot of money on them, and then they have to release him back into the auction pool. That's unfair.
Which looks like how it is going to be. I don't know if they'll be able to retain that untested talent again.
So as per our reporter, Sandeep, he had attended Rajasthan's trial, Rajasthan Royals trial during the Ranji season. So earlier this year, he had become the youngest player to ever debut in Ranji Trophy for Bihar. Then he played a youth test against Australia in Chennai, scoring the fastest youth 100 by an Indian. And he became the second youngest ever to score 100 in competitive cricket across any level. So lot to watch out for from Vaibhav Suryanshi. But I hope he is able to handle the pressure this particular auction brings up to his life.
Yeah. Talking about the best auction strategy that took place in the last 2 days. According to me, I think something a team like CSK really hit the nail on the head. They knew what are the type of buys they wanted. They had 5 retentions, so that had most of the starting 11 covered. But then they really understand their home conditions. They really understand the limitations of the squad. Even carrying some 42-year-old MS Dhoni has its limitations, but they know how to overcome that. Dhoni is not going to give you more than 10-20 balls in an innings with the bat. So add as many batting options as possible and make your tail as short as possible. That's what they've been doing over the last 2 years. Came with that strategy, took picks that give you a couple of skills. Rachin got back Devon Conway, Ruturaj Gaikwad, successful partnership a couple of years ago. CSK really struggled without that opening combination last time. So they brought back Conway, kept Rachin, gives you that extra dimension. Deepak Hooda, another part-time spinner. Good investment in Indian pacers.
My favorite addition to the CSK squad is Rahul Tripathi.
Yeah.
They have effectively replaced
someone like Rahane
Uthappa
used to do.
Yeah, so that kind of a player who can contribute at 150 strike rate.
Correct.
Around that area. So I think Rahul Tripathi will fit in perfectly with.
Excellent player of spin. Once he also made his debut under Dhoni and Fleming at RPS, and that was that really big season he had, after which he went to KKR. So I'm guessing he'll be able to replicate that kind of success. Bowling attack as well.
And he can keep also.
Yeah, but now with
there are a lot of others.
Touchwood, no injury concerns for MS. That will be sorted. But yes, the bowling attack as well. Sam Curran, Anshul Kamboj, Matisha Patirana, Khalil Ahmed. I think it's a really rounded squad. Very, very interesting picks for backups as well. They got Gurjapneet Singh, who's been making waves in Tamil Nadu cricket. Sheikh Rashid has been with them for a couple of years, really upcoming Andhra batter. So I think overall they came with a plan and they stuck to it, and I think they're going with one of the best squads going into the IPL.
Yeah, I would like to say that GT Gujarat Titans have probably the best squad. Their strategy was really good. I mean, their idea of going into the auction was, I mean, not to go for the big players who go for the 15 crore. So they went into the first day of auction, looked at the marquee set and decided to look at players who would never go beyond something like 15 or 16. And they got Josh Butler, one of the best T20 openers of all time. And he's going to partner Shubman Gill, so their opening is done. So they went and got replaced Mohammad Shami with Mohammad Siraj. And then got Kagiso Rabada to top it up. So I think Gujarat's strategy at the auction was really, really good. They targeted their weak areas and then strengthened the squad to the level that they can again probably compete for the title.
Correct. And that was really surprising for me because Gujarat, although they had, I think, the third highest purse, we were expecting teams like Delhi, RCB and Punjab to go big in that first marquee set. But leaving those 3 big Indian players, Shreyas Pant, GT went for the other players in the marquee set. Butler for 15 is, even though age is not in his side, really good pick. Will provide you, at least for the next cycle of 3 years, will provide you an excellent start in the power play, has an extra keeping angle as well. So yeah, like you said, really strong start to the auction. And they managed to back it up on the second day as well with Washington, Sai Kishore, Kareem Jannat they have brought in after Azmat Omarzai went to Punjab. So they have a lot of options there. Really well-rounded squad. Excellent power hitting in the middle. They have retained Shah Rukh Khan, Rahul Tewatia. Rashid plays his part with the bat as well. So all in all, well-rounded squad.
Strategy wise, KKR strategy was simple. They just wanted to get back as many of their title winning players except for the captain. So that was their strategy, and they went to a mad extent of doing that. They pushed the boundaries with Venkatesh Iyer, and that kind of compromised their team building in the other departments. So yeah, that was if that was the case, if they wanted Venkatesh Iyer that desperately, they could have probably retained him for 18 crores.
Correct.
It's just 5 crores for reduction for Venkatesh, but they could have balanced it out. They could have bought back Ramandeep for like a 6 crore or 7 crore.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was probably not the smartest thing from KKR.
I think a team like Punjab, they came into the auction with the biggest purse, 110.8 crores, and they had so many slots to fill, but then they had that money power that really gives you that bargaining. So when two teams are like extremely into a bid, it almost becomes like a clash of how till what extent can we pull that. We know we are overpaying for this player, but because we have that money power, we have that extra 2-3 crores that will really get us over the line and give us that player. So looking like that, I think they had the opportunity to go for 4-5 solid players. We should have put them at level with teams that have retained, but they ended up overpaying for so many of those players. Even someone like a Shreyas Iyer, a one-dimensional player, although he gives you that captaincy, middle order batter, does not have a secondary skill. 26.75 crores for him. I'm okay with the Arshdeep retention. Even if they had retained him, he would have gone for 18 crores. So I'm okay with that buy. But someone like a Yuzvendra Chahal for 18 crores, I understand there's a dearth in Indian leg spinning talent, but he is again not somebody who will contribute with the bat. So is it really worth going for 18 crores for someone like Yuzvendra Chahal? So they've gone after 5-6 players and they've overspent on them, which has ensured that the remaining 2-3 slots that they have to fill are not the best case scenario buys that they have. They are having to make do with a couple of average buys, we can say. So overall, when you look at the playing 11, it doesn't really seem like something that immediately like excites us, thinking, oh, these are potential title contenders. You don't get that feel.
And this has been the case with Punjab over the years. Like
correct.
Auction after auction, they come in with the biggest person.
The signing of Glenn Maxwell, although for cheap, you know he's a player you have tried and tested for so many years. Obviously, at this stage of his career, the career is always in a vein. It's not he's going to improve from here towards the next 3 years. So don't really understand a couple of buys. They couldn't retain Jitesh Sharma. They wanted to use the RTM, but RCB increased the bid at the last minute. Yes, and they let that go. So now they are having to do with either Josh Inglis, so who isn't really a 100% pick in the playing 11, or they'll have to go for someone like a Prabhsimran Singh who doesn't really keep every game he plays. So looking at things like that, I think Punjab could have done so much better with the purse they had in hand. So looking at all the players that have been through the auction over the last 2 years and the retentions they have made, I might seem a little biased, but I think CSK do have a squad with so many options that it makes them a sure shot playoff contender and maybe even contender for the cup. Like we discussed, they have favorable conditions at home. They have designed their team around it. But this time, even if they travel to venues where there's really pace and bounce, where ball doesn't really spin, I think they have enough Indian fast bowling and foreign fast bowling to help them cover and get those couple of wins, crucial wins in away games that will do them a lot of good when it comes to playoff qualification.
I have no bias here. I'm not going to say Rajasthan Royals. I mean, they had like the retentions were questionable, and then the auction did not exactly go how we imagined. But yeah, it's okay. Rajasthan had a good team, but still, I believe the title favorites are Sunrisers Hyderabad. They had the perfect retention. They retained the core, and they added some pretty good players. They have added Shami as into their fast bowling, then Nishan Kishan into the top order. So I think the kind of cricket Sunrisers wants to play. I think they have big players exactly for that. So they have Rahul Chahar and Adam Samba. I believe they both will play together. Two leg spinners at the same time. Cummins, of course, you know what he can contribute. And Shami, and they have Harshal Patel also. Harshal Patel, even though he leaks a lot of runs, he's a perpetual wicket taker.
Correct. So, and I think in a pitch like Hyderabad, that it stops and comes.
His variations could actually prove to be effective. Yeah. I believe Sunrisers had an incredible run last time, only to be bettered by a team better than them.
Correct.
Kolkata Knight Riders. But I think SRH has all the recipe to become a champion side next year.
And I think one more honorable mention in this question that we are answering is Gujarat Titans, because I think just like CSK, they have gone for a team that will help them do really well at home base in Ahmedabad. Indian pacers Siraj Prasidh, who have multi-format pacers for the country. Kagiso Rabada was once this bright fast bowler from South Africa, but now over the last 4-5 years, his IPL returns have been diminishing. Won the purple cap in 2020 and it has been diminishing since, but hopefully in a pitch like Ahmedabad, he'll be able to produce his best. So someone like GT also must say has an outside chance of winning the second title this time.
I think the best moment of the auction has to be Akash Ambani going to the RCB table to thank them for letting Mumbai have Will Jacks. As I have already mentioned multiple times, Will Jacks is probably one of the best players in the auction, and Mumbai got Will Jacks for just 5.75. And RCB did not use the RTM.
Yeah.
And Akash Ambani was so happy that he had to walk up and go thank them for the gesture. Yeah. Moments before the RCB had bought Tim David from not from Mumbai, sorry, former Mumbai player Tim David. Yeah. So that looked like a very good.
And RCB went on to use that saved RTM on someone like a Swapnil Singh who could have gone for 35-40 lakhs. So
in RCB's defense, they had already got Phil Salt. They had an opener along with Kohli. So Will Jacks would have been
an extra fit in the middle order, probably.
So that's it from us. So I think we have covered most of the happenings from the last 2 days. And a lot more drama will unfold as we go into the season next year. Until then, we'll be trying to cover everything that is happening behind the scenes in the IPL. For more stories from IPL, please follow Sportstar. Please follow us across social media platforms.